So good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for being here. So welcome to those who came. I know a lot of you flew in late last night, some of you this morning, and some of you were able to join us last night for the welcome reception and the awesome, loud, amazing band. So thank you for that. So thank all of you. I remember sitting with a small group of us and Steve about a year ago talking about this user conference, and as you know, it's our inaugural one, and it's always been a dream of Steve's. So he tasked me with making that dream come to fruition with all of the logistics. So it's a monumental moment for all of us, and for this to be our first year, and for all of you to be here. So it's really exciting for all of us. So as with all things AccuZIP, we could not have done this without the entire team. So I'm going to ask all of the AccuZIP team members to stand up. Some of you have met, some of you have not. If you don't want to stand up, you can just raise your hands. But so we've got Steve Belmonte, Eric Lambeth, Dave Belmonte, Donna, Terry, Chrissy. Some of them are not here because they're either doing support, working operations back in California. But these are your go-tos. They're a big part of this too. This is a user conference you guys have probably spoken to in one way or the other. Many of our team members, so it's exciting that they get to meet you and you get to meet them. Larissa, Brock, Shelly, Jeff, Jill, Kelsey, Marty, Jim, Matt, Steve Manzi, Vince, and like I said, a lot of them can't be here. But you see us, we're going to be in black shirts. The greens were your go-tos. Ask us any questions, come visit with us. And then of course we have our industry experts and our speakers. So I'd like to thank those people as well. We have Trish Wachowski of the Full Factory. She just got in 1 a.m., but she made it, so that's great. Some of you that weren't there last night, Steve did some of these introductions, so a little bit of it is repetitive, but deserves repeating. Josh Davis is our cybersecurity expert. He'll be flying in this afternoon, speaking tomorrow. We have Tom Glassman, who's going to talk about the Miller scorecard and is an amazing industry expert and advocate for the industry. Ron Labrosi, longtime AccuZIP customer partner. Nikki Crowell, is Nikki here?
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. Yay, okay, you got in too. Okay, thank you. So Nikki's a customer and going to be speaking on AccuTrace. The videographer and photographer, Kristen McKiernan. And then, of course, the hotel. Beautiful venue. Hopefully you all like it. And so we're thankful for that as well. And then my world of AccuZIP superstars. So I already mentioned them in the beginning, but I always like to say if an event seems seamless, it's because all the work went on behind the scenes. And these two women have done a phenomenal job. Shelly Belmonte, Jill Crouch. I put this picture up here, she let me. She just ran her first marathon in Seabrook. So did an amazing job with that. So all of the food, the beverages, the goodie bags, everything can be attributed to them. So thank you, Shelly and Jill. Okay, so you're going to have to bear with me on this. When I was thinking about what I was going to, I'm not going to talk about Abraham Lincoln, but when I was thinking about a theme of what I was going to do for my keynote speech, I thought, okay, I can talk about the state of the industry, I can talk about the power of direct mail, innovative technologies, but you either already know that or you're going to be learning that here. So instead, I wanted to talk about a story that resonated with me back in high school. And I've taken some of the elements from that story and applied them to my personal and business life. And hopefully, I think they flow through to the philosophies that we exemplify as a company. Story is a little odd, controversial, maybe, but you'll see. Bear with me. It was in high school. So there was this thing called History Day in high school, and you had to choose a project, and you chose either, some of you may know, or may have kids that I don't even know if they still do, it's back in the 80s. But you chose either a project, you could do a speech, a research project, something, and you had a theme. And the theme was, in this particular year, was the next frontier in science and medicine. So we could have chose, I don't know, brain, surgery or cancer research. So instead we decided to choose euthanasia was the topic. So we chose that, and we did this project and did this whole mock-up thing, and it garnered interest. So we won our high school competition. We won our class competition. So then we went up against 4,000 students, and each level that we went up, we had to keep researching. And I put this up because this is back in the 80s. Some of you might remember this, the microfiche, the card catalog, the Dewey Decimal Card catalog. So there was no Google, so we would spend hours in the library. And so then we won our high school competition. So then next up was we got to district. And then we spent hours again. Every time we would go, we kept winning and winning. We had to put in more and more research and more time. And so then we get to county, and we really want to win the state. So I remember, as it was a team, we did a group project. There was 4 of us. I said, what can we do to win state? We want to go to Sacramento, California. It was so fun. We were going to get a couple days off of school. So I said, what if we just get a hold of Dr. Kevorkian? Let's just get a hold of him. Well, there's no Google back then. There's no nothing. So they're like, oh, Kristen, keep dreaming. So I'm looking in the yellow pages, looking in, can I call 411? And lo and behold, we have our last group meeting before we're going to be in the big competition to go to state. And we are over at, his name was Woo Kim's house, and I asked his parents if I could borrow the landline. I dialed the number that I researched, and this gentleman on the other line says, Dr. Kevorkian speaking. And I start screaming, and I'm like, you guys. And there he is. And so anyways, he was a super gentleman on the phone. I couldn't believe we got a hold of him. He gave us all this research and information, and really what his thing is, he was just very happy that we were high school students that were researching and doing better in our educational endeavors. He sent us a bunch of stuff, and we ended up winning the whole entire state competition. Wow. So it was really exciting for us, and it's something that stuck with me. And the reason why is, let me not go back real quick, is that we worked as a team, we worked super hard, we had fun while we did it, and what seemed like a simple phone call took a lot of steps to get there. And so it's just, I've taken little pieces of that, and it's resonated with me, and I got to talk to this, how it's working. So with that said, I've taken those philosophies, and I've been with AccuZIP for 18 years. Another thing I learned when I was going to business school is you really have to be with a company and really to make it work is your core values have to align with that of the company that you work for. If they don't, you could have the best skill that aligns with it. Eventually, there's going to be no longevity with you and that company. And again, this is how I believe it may not resonate with you. It may, but that's what I've truly found. So the 5 values and philosophies and kind of life fundamentals that I'm going to share with this presentation, I think are the fabric of myself, and I think they flow through the company, and hopefully you as users have experienced that. So number 1, some of you all know who this is. So this is a tip, and a lot of these I'm going to go through are some quotes, and they're pretty influential people. So Elon Musk's tip was number 1, work super hard. Pretty basic. I mean, there's really no shortcuts in life. He told this story on his work super hard was that when he was starting Tesla, him and his brother had an apartment, and it was a 1-bedroom studio, and they would work all day during the day. One would nap at night, the other one would be up coding, and then they would swap back and forth. So some of you are programmers who have started companies may resonate, but you just got to work super hard. And he says in this, and that was part of a commencement speech that he gave. So his quote here is, work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. This improves the odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve. So, not saying that you need to work 100 hours a week, but if you go that extra mile, you're going to get that extra mile. So everybody here, you all are already doing that. You've already shown an interest in learning more about AccuZIP, learning more about your job, learning more about that. There's other people that are holding down the fort. You're taking that extra mile, and you're here because you've chosen to invest in that time and in yourselves and in your company. That kind of leads to the next slide, which is there is no such thing as an overnight success. Success comes to those who work for it a lot. So success takes perseverance. So often what people see on the outside, if somebody's a successful person or a successful company, oh wow, you're so successful. How did that happen? Well, it doesn't happen overnight. We all know that. Nobody sees that though. Typically, they just see the outside of it. And I like this visual. So there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. And often it's a long road to get there. And there's a lot of roadblocks and a lot of challenges. AccuZIP, we've been around since 1992. A lot of us in this industry have seen a lot of changes, and we've had to adapt, and we've had to change a lot of things, maybe things that are uncomfortable to change, and to be able to stay in the industry and to still thrive. But that's what you got to do. And with that said too, it's easy come, easy go. And that's the same thing with our customers. Some of you that have been with us for a long time, we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow with our Silver Globe Award. But we recognize that. It's that long term and what we've built those relationships, and hopefully you have that relationship with us. The next is be prepared. So it doesn't matter how hard you worked or how successful you are, if you aren't prepared, you're going to quickly lose out to the next person, the next company, the next competitor, whoever's behind it. You got to be prepared, and you always have to stay prepared. This is a quote from a YouTuber that my husband particularly likes, and I liked this. It was, there's no such thing as dumb luck. This quote is, luck is where opportunity meets preparation. Everyone is presented with opportunities, but if you're not prepared, it's easy to miss them. So oftentimes you probably hear, oh, you're so lucky you got that big print job, or you got that big client, or you got that big promotion, or whatever it is. It's not luck. It's, you've been prepared, an opportunity presented itself, and that's what this reflection of luck is, and I really like that. Steve also says luck is for rabbits. Okay, so circling back to kind of the philosophy of my teamwork is we're all in this together, and this is more relates to the industry, because it relates to life. It's the whole, there's no I in team. So the mail supply chain, this was part of the mail supply chain strategic plan developed by Postcom, ID Alliance, and National Association of Pre-Sort Mailers. I think Tom Glassman had a role in this. So humble. So the mail supply chain is that we're all in this together, and we're all in this audience part of the mail supply chain. And again, I like analogies. Is you can't do anything alone. There really is no, even something that appears to be a solo sport. Like I thought of, okay, running. Well, is that a solo sport? Well, no. Someone made your shoes. Someone drove the truck that put the asphalt down. I mean, really, you can't do anything alone. So us at AccuZIP, we always say our customer partners, it's you make us successful. We all make each other successful in this industry. And to kind of have a visual of that, what I wanted to do is have a little audience participation. And just have each of you raise your hands if you're a part of this particular portion of the mail supply chain. So this is the mail supply chain partners. So the first thing is, and if you might be a couple of them, you don't have to raise two hands. But raise your hand, and I'd like to show what just this user conference alone represents for our industry. So raise your hand if you're a marketing agency, a printer, a mail owner, mail service provider, mailing software, list procurement, United States Post Office. You keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. So keep your hands up. So marketing agency, printer, mail owner, mail service provider, mailing software, list fulfillment, USPS, logistics supplier, delivery agent, or service measure. So if you look around this room, this is the mail supply chain. This is it. I mean, you represent everything. And this statistic is today the mailing industry is a vast and complex supply chain contributing $1.4 trillion in annual GDP and 7.5 million jobs, 149.5 billion in mail volume in the U.S. economy. So we have a huge impact on the economy. In the post office, this is never more prevalent than when I go and represent AccuZIP or the industry at meetings like POTC or ID Alliance. The post office relies on us. The economy relies on us. So we're all a really important part of it. So it's neat to see that and how we all come together and how we really are impactful, you know, in this world. Okay, lastly, this is something fun. I like this quote. This is the quote from that's my 9-year-old son, the one raising his hand. This is his tagline for his school. What we learn with pleasure, we never forget. So we want you to have fun while we're here. And that's really a motto, too, that we follow at AccuZIP. So hopefully you had fun last night. You're going to have fun tonight. You're going to have fun while you're here. We want you to interact with our presenters. This example was my son they just recently had something where they emulated the 1800s and he had to dress for school for 2.5 weeks in suspenders and slate chalkboards and bring apples to his teacher, not iPads. There was no technology. It was actually real apples. Guaranteed he'll remember that forever. I know he will. I know because I know kids that are now grown up that remember that. So have fun just in life too, and we try to do that at AccuZIP. I mean, work is hard, life is hard, but if you have fun while you're doing it, you're more likely to remember it and enjoy it. So in a nutshell, these are kind of the fundamentals that looped all back to my first high school story. But work super hard, and again, these are what resonate with me and I think can reflect on our company. There's no shortcut to success. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. We're all in this together. There's no I in team. Have fun, and then you won't forget. So now on to just some of the logistics, and Steve covered some of those. But for those of you that missed last night, I just wanted to go over some logistics of the schedule. When creating the schedule, we tried to create something that everybody, you can mix it up. There were some questions too, so mix it up. We wanted to make different tracks so that it was, because we have all different levels of users. Some of you are here from sales and marketing, some of you are in the press, some of you are in the software. So feel free to mix it up. If you have any questions, let us know. Certain tracks will be recorded. I wouldn't count on that though. So if there's a track you really want to see, try to make it to it. This is the hotel diagram. Hopefully you guys have kind of got a lay of the land. Again, if you have any questions, we're your go-to green lanyards, black shirts. We got you. Then we have the boardroom. So don't forget to visit the boardroom. This is open during the entire conference. This is your chance to do one-on-one. If you have a question on your software, you want a command, a script, something like that. It's open during the entire conference. It'll be staffed. We have laptops in there. If you want to bring your laptop, you want to bring a file, you have a question, bring it in there. The only time it's closed is during lunch. And then tonight, going back to fun, we're going to have our dinner cruise. So that's on the yacht. There's going to be a DJ, some wonderful food, beautiful venue. So we're going to have dinner on the yacht. So make sure to make that. That's from, I think, 6 to 9:30. If you look at the itinerary, that's on there. Make sure you've downloaded the World of AccuZIP app. Any changes? So Steve talked about that. That was developed by Brock. He did a great job. But the changes are all dynamic. So if something changes, then you're good to go on that. So make sure you've got that. And last but never least, I said thank you in the beginning. I'm saying thank you now. You'll notice that all of our presentations end with thank you. I think those are two really important words, especially when they mean it. And we do mean it. So you probably notice too in a lot of our correspondence, we're always thanking you for your continued patronage. Thank you for your trust in our brand. But it's really, we really mean it. And so thank you for being here. Again, you're investing in yourself. I know it's not easy. Some people have already mentioned they've got to check into the office and you've got other people running your businesses. But thank you. Thank you for trusting us enough to travel all this way. It's our first event, and so I really appreciate it.